Alright, so you have two choices in your self-improvement journey. And yes, I know my drawings aren't that good, but I'll explain them. So the two choices are consistency or perfection. So on the left, we have consistency. I know you might have thought it was the right because it's like a nice steady growth, but that's actually perfection, where every day, if you do something, it has to be perfect. And so, as you can see, you will get to the goal, which is like this brown star here. You will get to the goal eventually, but it's going to take so much longer than if you're just consistent. Because when you're consistent, you don't worry so much about making everything perfect. You just worry more about doing the work that you actually need to do every single day. It doesn't matter if you fail because you know that failure is going to bring you closer to that goal. And so as you can see, if you're consistent, the time frame is a lot shorter than if you take the route of perfection. Now, both ways you can achieve the goal. But basically, consistency means you keep improving every day, all right? You show up and do the work every day, no matter how you're feeling, right? And an example is even today, right now. I am currently sick. I am getting a little bit better, but I could have decided not to film this video because, oh, maybe my voice doesn't sound quite good, or I might sniffle a little bit or cough. Or I could choose to be consistent, which I decided to be consistent today. So even if it isn't perfect, you made progress. Now, perfection, on the other hand, means you can't improve until you know exactly how. You show up on the days that you feel like it because you're properly motivated or something. You just want everything to run smoothly. Now, you didn't make any progress unless it's perfect. So if you failed, that's not progress to you because you're striving for perfection and you want just perfect results. So consistency is the best path if you haven't realized that already. Consistency is the best path to take when it comes to self-improvement. Perfection sounds great because you'll be building the perfect physique and the perfect habits. But there's a catch. It's basically impossible to be perfect at something, and so you're never going to start. You'll be stuck dreaming of your perfect lifestyle that other people who are consistent happen to have. Sorry. And as another example, the candidate who applies to 100 jobs will most likely beat the candidate who spends days perfecting their resume and what they're going to say. One person is taking action and improving along the way, while the other is avoiding the actual work by perfecting other things. They think that they're doing a lot of useful work, but they aren't actually doing the main thing. So another example is my YouTube channel. I could spend hours perfecting a thumbnail or figuring out a script, but what's the actual work that I really need to put in to grow on YouTube? It's actually just filming the videos and uploading the videos. Now, of course, there's more to it than that, and you can do more, but that's just the very basics of staying consistent on my YouTube channel, for example. So, in order to do this, you might need to shift your mindset. If you're a perfectionist, which a lot of people are, then that can really be holding you back, as I just showed you. And so you want to shift your mindset. So start building the improvement mindset, which helps you actually grow because you'll know that failures are mandatory for success. So you might as well get started. Um, Consistency beats perfection every single day. And also realize that everyone who has become successful wasn't perfect, so why bother aiming for perfection yourself? Also realize that someone who is consistent always beats the person who is silently perfecting. The person who actually just does the necessary work will always beat the person who knows what the necessary work is, but tries to do all these other things to perfect the necessary work. The last point I have here is hang around people who take action, not people who just talk about what they're going to do. Now, if you don't have anyone who is actively into self-improvement or taking action, that's exactly why I created Improvement Club, which is basically a tight self-improvement community where we've been coming together on weekly calls where we can talk about what you achieved in the past week, what you want to achieve in the next week. You can even book one-to-one calls if you want to talk about a specific problem in self-improvement. There's places where you can put your goals, post your wins, and so much more. I even just finished making a course in there on how you can stay in a good mood almost 99% of the time, which is essential to achieving more of your goals, because if you're in a good mood, then you'll just want to focus on working and actually putting in the work, taking action, and being consistent. So that is the two choices you have in your self-improvement journey. Is you can choose to be consistent or you can choose to be a perfectionist. And if you really want to improve yourself, you should choose the consistency path. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe if you have been enjoying my content. As you can see here, last 28 days, around 88% of the people who have been watching my content aren't subscribed. So if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, you're capable. Keep improving.